guys, welcome to Workplace Worth Academy, the place for job seekers and wealth builders seeking to build lifelong skills in career and money. Today I'm going to talk about a topic where I saved around $2,000 having one of these work perks, and I'm going to dig deep in this video, so you want to stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met, I'm Jenny Lagulo and I'm a career expert and educator. And today I really wanted to spend some time to talk about employer-sponsored benefits and why certain receptive employers, meaning that they are attuned to the population of their workforce, will offer. And it's really unique. I think in the last few years, companies have really stepped up to really support your work and life balance. So today you are going to learn about the top 5 benefits that employers are offering that is not only competitive, but it is unique. Today, the average person will spend around 90,000 hours at work, which, if you do the math, equates to about 1/3 of your life spent at an office. And it's really important that if you are supporting, some CEO, some, mission, or someone else's business in general, you want to feel like you're supported not only at the community level, but also as an individual who has a household, who has a family, who has other desires and other needs. Just so we're on the same page, I'm not talking about work perks like, having a pool table, unlimited snacks, maybe you have beer on Fridays. These are, they're kind of great to have at an office space, but it is not helping you branch out and really utilize your resources outside of your 9 to 5. It again keeps you at work and doesn't support your life outside of the 9 to 5. So when you think of employer-sponsored benefits, what comes to mind? Traditional employer-sponsored benefits include things like health insurance, vision insurance, dental insurance, and for the most part, these are basic resources that an employer will offer you. Granted, if you meet a certain criteria, maybe there's open enrollment, and you have a qualifying event. Most of all, receptive employers are looking to attract and retain top talent like you. So they're willing to go the extra mile to make sure that they can problem solve some of your issues for you. Competitive work perk number 1, paid family time off. And this is not to be confused with maternity paid time off. That is pretty standard across the country. I am talking about paid family time off, which also includes taking care of your sick loved one. Just so you know, there's only a few states in America right now in April 2020 that offer this benefit. So you could take time off for your newborn and take time off to take care of a relative in these neighboring states. And it's neat to see that, you are now protected by an employer policy as well as certain states. I see this being a perk that will take a lot of momentum in the next 1 to 2 years. And that is because we are human first. And that is sort of dawned on a couple employers. Employers like Hilton and other, unique Fortune 500 companies are looking for ways to really support their workforce. So, I've seen really unique things like companies offering to pay for breast milk shipping and for daycare and for diapers. And, these are resources that can help, take the load off of motherhood. You can, focus on traveling, you can focus on being a mom and, a corporate employee. And I think it's really neat to see that companies are starting to recognize that there are ways that they can provide you with group rates or discounts for basic necessities. Competitive work perk number 2, and I definitely see this one being in need more recently, especially in the state of California, and for youth in general. Mental health illness is real, and it is definitely surrounded with stigma, so it's really hard for people to talk about it in the workplace. But, things like burnout, anxiety, depression, absenteeism because you can't get out of bed. These are real things that happen to, employees that work for somebody. And it's hard that is now lost on a lot of people who think, oh, you're just lazy, or you just need to take some medication. It is a far more complex issue, and having the resources like a mobile app where you can talk to a licensed therapist and debrief about certain traumatic events that's happened to you, connect with other wellness resources like a gym membership so you can blow out some steam and help, take care of your body, maybe a cooking class. These are all really neat resources that certain employers are starting to offer their workforce. I was stunned to see that in 2019, around 50% of millennials actually left their job, and roughly around 75% Gen Z employees have actually left their jobs due to mental health reasons. So this is a perk that is starting to shake up whether employers like it or not. This is something that is starting to affect not only productivity, but how people are working together and how people show up to work. Receptive employers will also have something called employer assistance programs. And I think these programs are so underrated and underutilized by people like you because number one, you either don't know that they exist, or number two, you're not too sure what it means and if it's confidential. And the first thing is, yes, it's confidential. It does not, typically happen between you or an HR person. This is someone like a third party, another vendor that will come in. Maybe they're on site, maybe you have to go to them, but they will help you with things like legal issues, marital problems, stress management, and things like substance abuse. And I think these kind of resources, when they are communicated to the staff, when they're communicated to you in a way that is really encouraging, you're far more likely to pursue these resources and say, hey, I know this is included in my benefits, in my coverage, in my total pay, and this is something I can use and not feel guilty for. I won't touch too much on this because I feel like this could be a separate video, but also offering unlimited paid time off for floating holidays is a good one. I've also seen that, reducing the stigma to say like, hey, you should definitely take your paid time off and not feel guilty for it, not having your boss call you up on your time off just for you to fill in, whatever task that needs to be done. Competitive work perk number 3. Another factor hurting workforces around the nation is money and money management. Any kind of debt just is really debilitating. And, if you're a millennial, the cost of higher ed, the cost of maybe getting a new car, maybe having not experiencing a credit card and just kind of going ham, and now you're stuck with credit card debt. These are real things that people, first enter the marketplace, get in a corporate job, and don't know that they have resources available to them. I've seen this a lot in tech companies and young marketing firms. This is definitely something that is not yet mandated. An employer is definitely adding this to their policy and part of their total pay benefits program, but it's nothing that is regulated, and a company does not have to offer this. And it really sucks to get a paycheck, I think, and have most of that either go to loans, go to bills, and not have any, money to go towards your, hobbies or your little splurges here and there. And it's really neat to see that employers are now offering things like consolidation programs or other kind of money management classes to help you get educated, to make more informed decisions about your money, about your paycheck, about your 401k. And it's really neat to see that you can start getting in the mind space of being a wealth builder and not just someone who's just living paycheck to paycheck, which most of us do. And, it is a mindset. It is being educated in this space that will get you out of that, rat's race. Competitive work perk number 4. And this one I think is definitely underrated as well. And this is this idea around fertility benefits. And if you did not know, 1 in 8 couples actually struggle maintaining a pregnancy or even getting pregnant in the first place. And that's a huge number. I wrote this down and I want to read it to you guys. The cost of just one IVF cycle can run an average of $23,474 freaking dollars. What? And it's scary to think that some of these, fertility benefits are not included in the coverage in your standard medical benefits. So, you know, you definitely want to double check to see if this is even offered within your standard coverage and if there is opportunities within that you work for to have these benefits. It's no surprise that when I read articles about, you know, successful women who then actually leave a high-paying position or job and go seek out part-time jobs at Starbucks because they offer a really generous fertility benefit. And it is stunning to me to see that, you know, when you do work for a larger organization, they should be able to provide things like this to you. Like this can also extend to like genetic screening and other aspects of, you know, your fertility health. These are benefits to have if you are seriously considering having a family or starting a family within the next 2-3 years. Competitive work perk number 5, and you guys guessed it. You know, a few months ago, maybe late 2019, I had a pet emergency where Bruno had some chocolate and I was scared for his life. So we actually rushed him to the hospital and I received, you know, the pre-authorization for the invoice, and I saw the number, which was $1,800 to spend on not only his medication, but also, you know, treatment, his hospitalization, all that accumulated to $1,800. And I had to use my credit card to cover that payment. Let's bring up Bruno since we're talking about him. He hears me talking about him, so he wants to be in the video now. But it's scary to think that every 6 seconds, a pet parent actually receives a bill of $1,000 or more. I don't know about you, but if you have $1,000 saved in your emergency fund or savings, that's great. That's something that you can utilize. But if you don't have pet insurance, that is going to sting. You're going to start maxing out your credit cards, maybe asking your relatives for some cash, and pets are part of the family. The way this work perk typically goes is, you know, they'll offer discounts so you can get a group rate for a health plan or health insurance for your little furry friend. That's something that you definitely want to have covered. You don't want that to be an out-of-pocket expense. It's really neat to see that companies are stepping up and not only offering a pet-friendly environment, but offering, you know, the financial gain of you being insured by pet insurance. And I can't stress enough how helpful it is to have resources that you know your employer, number one, cares about how you are after your 9 to 5. It's not just about you cranking out your work. It's about, hey, like, how is your household? Are you healthy? Are you healthy up here? Are you, you know, feeling like you can do stuff and have a hobby? And I think a lot of corporate spaces get, you know, a bad name because they are just, you know, let's crank stuff out. It's all about the money. At the end of the day, I think companies that want to build a really good community, they really invest in things like this. I hope this was super informative for you to start thinking as the job hunting game with a buyer's mindset and knowing what your lifestyle will be like in the next few months and years. And I also just wanted to drive home that when you have these perks, you're maximizing your take-home pay. So, you know, if you're no longer, you know, paying this out of pocket and you have a discount, you are keeping more of that money. You're maximizing the resources that are available to you within your circle. And that's what this channel is all about. So if you like what you see, please be sure to hit the little subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And why don't you just drop a comment on your favorite perk or a perk that you would like for me to cover. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's be bold and badass together. I'll see you guys in the next video.